Listening on Audible helps your imagination soar. Whether you listen to stories, motivation, any genre you love, you can be inspired to imagine new worlds, new possibilities, new ways of thinking. Maybe you'll find inspiration in the incredible true story of Black female mathematicians at NASA in Hidden Figures, or the fantasy world of Throne of Glass. There's more to imagine when you listen. As an Audible member, you get to choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog. New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/imagine or text imagine to 500-500. That's audible.com/imagine or text imagine to 500-500.
Hello, welcome. Let's chat. It's hard. You want to talk? I know, that's disappointing. Sit back. Let's work this out. How's it going? What are we doing here? Where are you going? Hey there. Wow. It's not always easy. It's amazing if you think about it. Let's think about this. Strange. I have some thoughts about that. Life is hard. Trauma bonded.
I wanted to say happy birthday, everyone. It's Elly's birthday today. Has nothing to do with the episode.
Yeah.
But it's a big deal.
I was
January 19th.
born. I was born and I continue to live. It is true.
I will say we should probably thank Jean. She did all the heavy lifting.
She did.
Right?
Yeah. I was
That
texting
day.
with her today. And
That's Elly's mom.
yeah. And she was saying, oh, see, I'm going to cry.
That's okay. Oh, no, that's okay. We're here together, so
We're in the same place.
yeah. So if need be, I can hug or not hug. You don't have to be mad.
It's just my first birthday without my dad.
What would he usually do on your birthday?
Just,
Give you a call.
No, not really.
Acknowledge it.
I'm their firstborn, and so it's hard for my mom too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you don't have to say sorry.
Stupid.
Why are you saying stupid?
There's a
Sorry.
father that dies of pancreatic cancer in the story.
I know.
It's a rough one.
Yeah.
She was just saying how happy they were when I was born. Yeah, it's weird to think that someone's not here anymore, When you move away from your family, you just get used to the idea that they're doing whatever they do and wherever they are. And it's just weird to think that they're not doing those things anymore,
Sometimes it's nice just knowing they're around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, T.
You're welcome. I don't know. It's a thing.
We're going to go gambling tomorrow.
Yes, we are.
Sorry if that's a trigger for anyone.
Oh.
T, what's your limit? Am I going to be given an amount of
No.
money? Oh.
We will be funding your dinners, maybe some of your drinks. I don't know how we can.
Well, if you're gambling,
We've got a
right?
mortgage, so we can't be. But yeah, probably not the gambling part. You need to have some skin in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'd throw you a 50 or something.
No.
Well, happy birthday anyway.
Thanks.
I'm glad you're here to celebrate with us again. It's so nice. Because I was
I'm
just
up here a lot lately.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago, Elly came over to celebrate. We just hung out. But this is the official.
All of January. Well, I think we didn't know if
Birthday
this
month.
one was going to happen. But
Yeah.
Here I am.
Well, I for one am very happy that you were born.
Thanks, T.
I'd be sitting here talking to myself.
Probably do pretty well.
Yeah, not bad. Different voices.
One thing I want to talk about with regard to this episode is she kept using a word I don't think I've heard used before. I'm sure I've heard it before, but it tickled my ears. I liked it.
Oh.
Emergently.
Oh, yeah.
Did you notice that?
I did notice that, and I was like, is that a word?
That's not a word you hear very often.
Yeah. Does that mean like emergency, urgent?
I think, yeah. Emergent.
Yeah. I thought, well, she knows her words.
It's a great word. It's so concise. Oh, wait. Emergent properly means emerging and normally refers to events that are just beginning. Emergency is an adjective as well as a noun, so rather than writing emergent care, use the
Homely.
Emergency care. I don't know.
That was good. I also noticed that, and it was a word that I hadn't used ever, but seemed
Was she using it right?
Probably.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure she was.
I'm sure. She knows more than us. She's a doctor. We always say we're not doctors.
Right, we should trust the doctor, finally.
Yeah. She probably says it a lot.
I feel like she said it a few times, yeah.
Oh, no.
Welcome to Trauma Bonded. I'm Elly Westberg, here with Therese Garcia.
Hello.
And today we're discussing, this is actually happening, episode 305, What If You Were Expected to Do No Harm? Now, this is just a working title. I think it's brilliant. I came up with it, but we're calling it a working title for now.
Yeah, I thought it was, what if you had to treat your abuser? It's 305.
It's 305, though, yeah.
Yeah.
A little synopsis. Our anonymous storyteller has an idyllic childhood until she finds out she was molested as a toddler. This reveal substantially informs her teen years. She does become sexually active, but finds it fun and empowering. One terrible afternoon when she's 16, her world is shattered when a fellow student and trusted friend rapes her in her own bed. She tells one ex-boyfriend who seems to assign the blame to her. She decides to tell no one else. After losing her father to cancer, it is revealed to her that she's the product of a sperm donor. She's determined to become a doctor, but early in her college education, she becomes pregnant and puts her career dream on hold to raise her new son. Her life is stable after marrying her wife and having a daughter via sperm daughter.
And having a daughter via sperm
donor. While working in the hospital at night, the name of her rapist shows up on the board. Seeing his name only sends her into a panic attack and turns her whole world upside down. She knows she must finally deal with this trauma from years ago. Her wife encourages therapy, and through EMDR, she is able to forgive her rapist and move forward with her medical career, knowing she can treat whomever walks through the hospital doors.
Okay.
And full disclosure, I'm the showrunner for This Is Actually Happening, and I have the privilege to vet stories and conduct pre-interviews before they go to Whit for the final interview, and T knows nothing about anything. She comes in fresh, and this show, Trauma Bonded, is for the listeners, a space where we can talk about each episode, digest it, and reflect on it with empathy, and also a bit of levity. That's Trauma Bonded. T, what stuck out to you as the heart of our anonymous doctor story? Which I don't know if she's actually a full-fledged doctor yet, but that's just what I'm choosing to call her.
So for the heart of the story, I was thinking it could be really put into one word. And I went with the word echoes. Elly's making a face at me. I don't know why. I'm excited.
Because you're so artful in your hearts.
Oh, thank you. That's nice. I think about it a lot. But echoes.
Go on.
The word echoes, I feel like it could be for others as well, but for this one particularly, there's like echoes of trauma. We talk about generational trauma, and these echoes, I feel like they get stronger and stronger, and it just keeps reverberating and amplifies and starts to come to the surface.
Like a lesson that you learn, like really learned, or a truth that you really get, it keeps coming back.
Yeah, keeps coming back.
Just the way the thing that you might ignore or try to push down is going to keep coming back.
Exactly, like secrets, right?
Yeah. Like
you're triggered by these things, let's say, like that happened years ago. You get like a hint of it, and it just comes back, and it's been there. She kind of describes it that way.
Well, yeah.
Even with these secrets with her father, you know, not being her biological father, and then also with his first wife, with those kids not being their biological father as well. These secrets seem to come to the surface eventually. They have to for some reason. And the secrets you keep, they also come to the surface, and you hold them. She was saying, you know, you hold them in your body.
Yeah.
There's really like an emotional weight to that. It's almost inescapable. I was also thinking about echoes of like parenting, like your own experiences and your memories as a parent I'm always thinking about how I was raised and how these like echoes of things that I went through and just always trying to do better. And through what I was like learning,
It's good.
kind of learning and trying to do better through these echoes of your past.
And there's like an echocardiogram. at the hospital.
Echocardiogram, I was also thinking. Yeah, very good. Very good. I wanted there to be
Different
some
echoes.
sort of medical connection there, but
Yeah.
that is, echocardiogram, which is a heart. It's a heart
Yeah.
test.
Yeah.
So, echoes.
It's good.
Thank you.
Well, a wise dancing nurse named Elizabeth once said, secrets are no fun. Secrets hurt someone. That's for all my The Office fans out there.
Oh,
You watch The Office, the American one?
I've seen several episodes. But
This is from the Ben Franklin episode,
okay.
which is a really quality episode, season 3, episode 15. It's called like Dunderpedia or something.
I agree with what you said.
For people that know the episode or know the show really well, I mean, this is a really popular episode. It's they're having a bachelorette party for Bob Vance of Vance Refrigeration, and they order a dancing girl named Elizabeth who comes dressed as a nurse. And, I'm not going to get into the whole episode, but basically that's something that she says. She drops this wisdom on Michael.
Yeah, say it again.
And he's like, man, that nurse is really smart.
Deep.
Secrets are no fun. Secrets hurt someone. I mean,
it's a bit disturbing.
Yeah, but dude,
that's happening.
This is full of secrecy. This episode,
it's
and
all
this
about
family.
secrets.
Yeah, I mean, and what's remarkable about that is I feel like most family stories are full of secrets.
I still don't know.
Yeah,
tons of things with my family. There's just mysteries.
Yeah,
like we don't talk to them. I'm like, but what? Why? It's like, no, there was a money thing. I'm like, okay.
Right?
Yeah, something weird.
And and she talks a lot about it being sort of about appearances. You want to appear to your neighbors, your coworkers, your priest, whoever it is that you got all together and nothing bad ever happens. You don't do anything wrong. But we keep these secrets as a way to protect ourselves, and even just pragmatic issues. Like her dad didn't want his daughters to know that they were the product of a sperm donor, because he knew that if there was conflict, they could say, well, you're not my real dad. And that's kind of really wise to think that far ahead, It made me think a lot of sort of the secrets that have happened in my family, as far as like not expressing how you really feel about a situation, but just going along with it to maintain the peace. And like one specifically is, after I got divorced and I talked to my dad about it, and I was like, Dad, why did you let me get married? And he's like, because I knew you were going to do it anyway, and then I didn't want there to be this thing between us that you knew I didn't like him. So it's like sometimes there's wisdom involved.
So he didn't like him?
He didn't. No. He didn't think that we should get married, and he was absolutely right. And sidebar, I realized that now that my dad is gone, I can't ask him his true feelings about so many things in my life, and I really want to know. So I actually made a list of questions I want to ask my mom about what his feelings were about things, and I haven't broached the issue yet with her. I don't know if I should do it in person, because I know they talked about everything, and I just want to be like, what did he really think about this? What did he really think about that? What did you guys, when you guys talked about this, what did you say to each other about this? I really want to know. And what is that? Why do we want to know? Is it to discover something about ourselves? To discover something about them? Like, why do I give a fuck about how my dad felt about something in 1998?
Of
That's
course you
over,
wanna
that's
know.
past, you
Of
know?
course you want to know.
It's strange, though. Is it just like the seeking of like wanting to turn over every stone? Or is it just to have a deeper closeness to someone? It's like when there's secrets between you, it feels like you're farther apart, right?
Yeah.
The fewer secrets you have, the closer you feel to someone, maybe. I actually don't know.
It'd be nice to know his like real, genuine feelings about things.
Yeah.
He probably hid them to protect you.
Totally.
And to protect
our
your
relationship. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder, and I think it's a beautiful thing if you were to ask your mom, but I also think and wonder if she would also say things to protect your relationship.
I don't think she would.
Oh, okay.
I feel like us going through him dying this summer, I think it like really ripped open so much in our family. You know, that's a really intense thing to do with someone. And it feels like that was such a terrible thing to happen, to lose him. So it's almost like, what else do we have to lose? Like,
might as well put it out on the table.
Yeah. And if it's something I don't like, we can just blame the dead.
Isn't that nice? Dad's fault.
Yeah.
I always wondered where
my mom might feel that way, but she was like, well, that's what your dad thought. But it's scary to think like, yeah, I don't know. I want to know everything before it can't be known. And I don't know why I want to know it.
I want to know it. My dad died 20 years? No, I think it was 06. Like 18 years, 17. But yeah, I do want to know those things. At this point, though, it's kind of too late. I don't think they shared stuff as much between them, my mom and dad. And then my mom's like kind of not remembering as much.
Yeah.
So there's all these mysteries that I just like drop.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't he talk to my cousins? Why did we have such an estranged relationship with them? What happened with his kids before?
Well, and I think your mom, she does feel so much shame around that stuff because it doesn't hold up scrutiny of appearances.
Oh, yeah.
Especially like religiously speaking.
Yeah.
So even if you were begging her to tell you the brutal, honest truth, I don't know that she could like say words out loud. I think it would be hard for her to say hard truths out loud.
Yeah, I think I may have tried when I was younger, but it was pretty clear I shouldn't be asking these questions. So I have no idea.
Wow, it's deep. So she kind of finds out that she's been molested as a toddler by family that they don't talk to anymore. She finds out when she's, what she said, 7 or 8, maybe. Do you think that this, I said in the synopsis that this does inform her sexuality. Do you think that it does?
Oh, wow. Did you say that?
Yeah.
That's interesting because...
she doesn't say that expressly, but I kind of put, I said it.
The molestation when she was a toddler?
She doesn't remember that event, but I think her being told about it, it does, there's something that I think sets off in her, maybe, and maybe I'm wrong, I'm not a doctor. It's almost like she has this like openness to sexual experiences because in some way, like she feels like she's already been damaged.
That's a hard one. That's tricky. Tricky.
But she paints it as it's fun. It feels good. She feels empowered by it. You know, this is how she gets this bad reputation in high school, that she really owns it. But do you think that that's related to the discovery of finding out what happened to her before she could have
like how
real memory?
She is, or what her sexuality?
No, how sexual she is.
Oh, okay.
Like her promiscuity.
Yeah. Well, I know you weren't talking about sexuality, but I just want to throw out there.
I'm sure we will talk a lot about sexuality.
I'm going to throw it.
Oh, we're going. Okay, go.
Just because a lot of people.
Oh yeah, go.
Right.
Say.
Will think or do think that maybe you end up being gay or bisexual or anything in between because you've been molested.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that.
Yes.
Lots.
Lots.
I will say.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I wasn't molested.
Yeah.
Not to...
Brag.
I'm just saying... I'm not...
Sorry.
Did you say brag? Oh my God. No, I'm not... I'm just using it as a way...
A point of reference.
A point of reference, just to say... I think I've been gay since I was maybe born, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It's a big mystery.
Born that way.
Yeah, I think I was born that way. People are always wondering. I mean, really, maybe all of us are on, kind of a spectrum of that. But, yeah, never molested, never any kind of weirdness in a sexual way that I know of, and turned out gay-mo.
Yeah.
So I am an example of someone who
wasn't touched, still gay.
Still gay. So that's a data point I think we should throw out there, guys.
Agreed. Well, how being assaulted and harmed as a child that way, it doesn't necessarily inform your sexuality, but it could inform lots of things in your life. It could...
Lots and lots of things.
Right. You just don't know what it might do.
Mm-hmm.
The point is, it's not normal. It's not natural. It's harmful.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and if kids aren't given proper care and guidance to maybe get through it, then they might express it in some way. And sometimes they touch others. That's something that's talked about. But it doesn't it's not 100%, well, they're definitely going to be gay now, or they're definitely going to molest others now. Like, you don't know how it's going to show up in someone later on down the road.
And the way that she's, like, empowered sexually, is there a connection there?
Maybe it's like, to her, it's taking back her body.
Yeah.
Knowing that it was taken from her as a child, and she's taken it back.
Would she have been that way, you think, if she didn't find out?
It's hard to know.
It's really hard to know. Because
it sounds like because her parents were constantly maybe trying to make it up to her for, like, letting her be put in that situation, she says they sort of have this idyllic childhood where they weren't put in boxes and they were sort of run amok and, like, able to make their own decisions. And so who knows how these...
There was no religion that I know of that'll...
Yeah, that can fuck you. I feel like that's what fucked me.
Yeah.
I mean, why was I so promiscuous in my 30s? I don't know.
Oh.
But probably religion. We don't need to talk about that. But at any rate, she's in high school. She gets this reputation as a slut.
Which is unfortunate because she really... I thought it was a good thing. She's like, hey, this is me. This is good.
Yeah.
I'm empowered. I own it.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to run around having sex with everybody, but if I feel in love with someone, I will.
Did you have sluts in high school? If I put a gun to your head and said, name the sluttiest slut in high school, could you do it?
Sluttiest slut? I wouldn't use that word.
Do you have one in your brain?
I don't think I do.
You had a really small high school.
Like in high school?
There was no one girl that had a bad reputation.
Actually, no.
In my high school, it was the swim team. The male and the female, they all were fucking each other and all sluts. Oh. And I remember.
Oh my God. You really killed me.
Sex was so scary to me in high school.
Crazy.
It was so scary to me. And I remember, and we'd stand in the hallway and we'd see the swim teams walk by.
And they're like, slutty sluts are sin.
Like, look at sluts, fucking sluts.
I didn't have that.
Well, I had like 20, wait, no, what did I have? I had like 600 people in my graduating class, and you have like
I had
6.
Like 80.
They couldn't all be sluts. I was bound to.
We had a swim team, but I didn't call them all sluts.
They were fucking each other. Did you have a male and a female?
They're all shaving.
Yeah, they're shaving together. They're having big group shave parties. They're always in like a bathing suit or topless.
Why are they topless?
The men.
Oh, the men.
They're little tiny Speedos with their packages pronounced.
Sounds like you're a bit jealous.
I was a bit jealous.
You were ready to be one of those.
I didn't.
I gotta swim. more. Can I join the swim team, Mom?
Oh, let's talk about gay trajectory.
Oh, fun. I thought we just did that.
No, we didn't.
Oh, what are you talking about?
With regard to the storyteller,
Okay.
her gay trajectory.
Okay, cool.
So I think it's interesting when she was 12 and found out bi is a thing, she definitely decided she was bi, which I think is amazing.
At 12?
Yeah.
I did that at 19.
When you found out bi could be a thing? Or like that was your tip, like your little steps
gateway
into, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you didn't feel like you could fully admit full gay.
Well, it was confusing.
Full gay-mo.
It was very confusing.
You were confused.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because you were the only gay you knew?
No, I knew a lot of gays.
But you were confused about your being gay.
Yeah.
Even though you kind of knew from like pretty early.
Yeah. But I transitioned to...
Is it confusion or is it more fear of being your authentic self?
Yeah. It was that. Probably.
Acceptance and hell. Stuff like that. Yeah.
I didn't care about hell. I didn't believe in hell.
Well, believe for you. I just think it's interesting. Good for you.
It's one of those things like I like
braggy.
So braggy today.
I didn't escape hell till I was like 39.
Oh my God, still. You're a little bit still.
I am a little bit afraid.
Still.
I just watched Ghost again recently. When's the last time you watched Ghost?
Oh my gosh. Long time.
It's so good. And the scenes when like the evildoers are being like pulled away to hell by the shadows and they make this like really terrible noise.
It's a screech.
Yeah, it's a terrible screech. I was like, oh, good Lord.
That's what you picture?
No, it's just like if that were a real possibility, we should all be very afraid of that.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't.
It's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
No, I totally believe it's not. No, I'm like 100%.
Oh, you're 100%?
Hundo.
Okay,
Full hundo.
99.
Well, I don't know everything.
Yeah, we don't know everything. It's not.
So this feels like a natural trajectory, though. She's bi at 12.
Mm-hmm.
She gives men a go for some years.
Mm-hmm.
They consistently let her down, is my feeling, and infuriate her in a lot of ways. And then finally she marries a woman.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this is a normal route
what is normal
to lesbianism?
I mean, what is normal at this point? And there's like generational things, right? Because I feel like there's a big, you go here, there, and everywhere, probably in like older generations when it was really not accepted. I mean, nowadays, I feel like everyone's bi.
Yeah, people are just touching private parts.
And it's fine. And everyone's all the genders. I don't know. But if you were going to say quote unquote normal, again, I'll just, from my own experience is, I think deep down inside, I thought that I was probably gay from when I was like 5.
Yeah.
But I think like our storyteller, you're just like, just throw that down deep. That goes deep. And it can go deep, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, so
little baby steps
like
toward,
dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were supposed to like dudes, so that makes sense. And objectively,
you're like I'm going to try dudes.
Dudes, you can see if their dudes are attractive and you get it.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, but I get it. But I
don't want you inside me.
Yeah, I don't want you inside me.
I don't want you touching my body.
No touching.
I don't want you kissing my mouth.
Yeah. But we can like chit-chat and have like the best time.
Right.
It's like the best time. Like I can love a dude because we're like having a nice time fully clothed and at least 6 feet away from each other, you know, and that's how I like to date. And then if it gets closer than that, the first time I kissed a dude when I was 17.
Magic.
I almost threw up.
I mean, so did I.
I went home and I gargled with orange juice. We didn't have mouthwash. And I was like, it was so disgusting.
Was it tongue?
Yeah, it was like tongue.
And you can still taste the tongue in your mouth gross. After. No, I had the same
And I was like,
experience.
maybe he's just gross.
No, I think it's a foreign act.
A foreign object in there.
Someone else's.
It's really gross.
It's really terrible when you think about it. I'm gonna make a statement. I think any woman that spent any time dating men if she could handle a vagina, she would absolutely switch.
No.
So many women have had so many terrible experiences of dudes. And I love our dude fans, our straight dude fans.
Oh, for sure.
And I love my man.
Of course you do.
But
He's a dude fan.
I'm just saying, so many women have had really terrible experiences with men. If they could be gay, they probably would choose to be. And this isn't like a groundbreaking idea. I think a lot of people will jokingly say, like, man, I wish I could be a lesbian. Like, being a lesbian would be so much easier than having to deal with.
Is it easier?
And it's just, I mean, I don't know what's going on in there, but like, just women understand women more. Right. And it's like men are from Mars, women are from Venus kind of thing. And when you like completely are missing each other, like in heterosexual relationships, but you like, your girlfriends seem to get you for some reason, like get me all day long. Right. It's like, man, I wish I was attracted to that. You know, I would take it in a minute. Yeah. So I don't have to deal with all that.
And it kind of works out when you are attracted too. Then it's
Yeah. Yeah, of course lesbians
for sure.
move in on the second date. They're like, oh my God, I've been seen. Someone sees me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're hot.
Yeah.
So let's just do this.
I don't know. Can I say all that? Is that...
I don't know.
Have we not earned our spots to talk in these frank ways?
I think so.
Yeah.
And it's nice because we're different.
I've been around the block. You've been around the block. Mm-hmm. I think we've earned opinions.
We can talk freely, of course.
In all love and acceptance.
We're not trying to offend.
Of course not.
We're really talking about our own experience.
Exactly.
So what was the question?
Is that like a normal gay trajectory?
Oh. In my generation, I think it is. Ooh. Right? Because it's like, and I don't know. For me, it was like you get, I mean, all these signs that you're supposed to be straight, and then you start going towards the gay thing, and they're like, no, it's wrong. But then you have to still like test it out.
Let's talk about sperm donors.
Oh my God. The connections there.
It's a lot of the story. She doesn't seem to react too terribly to finding out that her father is not her actual father.
It's almost like a relief. Like it makes perfect sense.
And it doesn't seem to harm her connection to him.
No, she still feels that connection.
Yeah, which I think is wonderful. I mean, that goes to show, it doesn't necessarily mean biology to I mean, this is not... Yeah. I'm not saying anything novel, but what do you think about her father insisting that be kept from her until he dies?
I had a lot of feelings.
Go on.
Well, our kids are, products of sperm donation as well. We spent a lot of time with our firstborn letting him know what that all meant. And we accidentally didn't share as much with our younger twins. They continued to now call me daddy, which I did try. I really did try to get them to call me mama, like our firstborn. And it started with our firstborn. He started asking, like, why don't I have a dad? Valid. And we got to talking about it. We told him everything about sperm, egg, sperm donation, donor versus father, and what our stories were there.
They watch content for kids is very heteronormative.
It is, yeah.
But
there's some good books out there.
You almost, but like thinking about like a Netflix show or whatever.
There's
like
always,
it's always mommy, daddy, grandma, grandpa.
Yeah.
It's really hard to avoid it almost.
Yeah.
So of course, they're going to ingest this content and wonder why it's not reflected in their own. Yeah.
And it makes sense. So it was good with our firstborn where it was like, yeah, let's tell you what's up. And he's like, why don't I have a daddy? And I was like, okay. So we got to talking about it, told the whole story. There's a lot of good books out there.
Do you want to recommend any?
Yeah, I do. And maybe we'll put that on something.
Oh, we put it in the show notes?
Maybe in the show notes. I have them. I forget the names, but there's some like bear ones. And one's called Zach's Safari. There's a few.
Okay.
We'll list them out. But he got to questioning, and I was happy that he did that. And then with the twins, I think we should start getting into it. But they haven't been questioning it as much because they refuse to call me mama, and they only call me daddy after many, many attempts.
Well, and we all reinforce that.
We do. And I'm not sure what's going to happen there.
But I think it's interesting that we call you daddy with female pronouns.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my pronouns are she, her, daddy.
She, daddy.
She, her, daddy.
Yeah. She, her, daddy. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, lots of feelings around that. And, quote unquote, real dad, things like that. When her dad basically with his first wife and finding out that he wasn't their biological father, the kid's biological father, I found it really sad.
Yeah.
It seems like they didn't continue a relationship after the fact.
That's what it seems like, yeah. But that seemed more...
Because of the breakup?
Didn't it seem more like she was hiding it from him?
Oh, yeah.
It was like this with our storyteller. Her parents decided to do this, and they were both in on it, whereas his previous marriage, she wasn't getting preggers, so she went outside of the marriage.
It seemed like they were already having issues, and they...
Yeah.
But they did have a relationship.
We don't really know if he continued a relationship with them, which is really sad. Yeah.
Yeah. Because even though I don't share genetics with them.
Yeah.
I feel like I am their mom.
You are.
Or dad.
Yeah, you are.
And I see myself in them.
Yeah, you are.
So that's a big part.
Well, and you chose a donor that had a bit of your...
Oh, yeah, like the Filipino thing. Yeah. Yeah. But I see myself in them. I don't see myself in them in terms of look, except, Rex and I look like twins because of the Filipino thing, I think.
Mm.
But I think in personality-wise, they're all kind of hams.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm a ham.
What did you think about it when she said, she's got the story of being from a sperm donor, and her daughter also has that sperm donor story? It's a good
connection.
Yeah.
I like that. I liked that a lot.
It's cool that she can when she does explain that to her daughter, that there's this like point of commonality to make the daughter feel better about it.
I do like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was really sweet.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
We don't have to get into this, but have you legally adopted the kids?
Yes. We did some paperwork. I don't know. We did some extra.
Okay.
I'm on their birth certificate as a second parent, as another parent.
Okay.
And then we did, I forget, but there's other paperwork where
you're their legal guardian.
Their legal guardian as well.
It's scary.
It's very scary.
Because right now everything's hunky-dory in California.
Yeah.
And if something happened to Gwen and the wrong people got in power, you want to make sure that's locked down tight.
It's not the best system where, like, we did the paperwork and they're like, oh, yeah, you'll never get, like, confirmation, but it's there or something. I got to figure it out. But we did that years ago.
Yeah.
With all the kids.
And you got the receipts, too. Like, you paid for it.
Yeah.
You bought it.
I mean, we bought a lot of things. So, they're mine.
Yeah. Well, is it like possession 90% of the law? Well, let's face it. I mean, the hope is there's no one that would fight you for custody.
I don't think so. Yeah. We'll be fine there. But it's interesting. There's like weird things with, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that know more about this, but sometimes possession is more powerful than genetics.
Mm.
And by possession, I mean, like, if you birth the children, let's say, even though it shares the genetics with another parent, the person who birthed them can be more of the soul.
Yeah, the courts tend to side with the mom more. Is that what you mean?
with the birthing parent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes. It depends.
Because of attachment, you think?
I don't know. I don't know why, but sometimes, even if the genetics aren't shared with the birthing parent,
Yeah.
the genetics will lose out.
Interesting.
The birthing parent.
I think what's scary, the most scary, is that even if you've got all your ducks in a row, and God forbid something did happen to Gwen, and someone was in power that was trying to get rid of gay people.
Yes. Which is a
even if they were by all accounts like in a healthy, happy household, it's just it's terrible that you're going to be under more scrutiny than maybe some other hetero asshole that doesn't take as good of care as their kids just because of biology. Yeah.
Well, God forbid anything happens to Gwen, because we'll all go down.
Oh, we're all going down.
You're going down too.
I won't make it without
No
Gwen.
one's going to make it. But I have a pretty good relationship with her fam. Yeah. I think they know. Yeah. Who's going to take care of these little devils? Yeah. They're like, no. Take them for sure if there's anything weird.
Who's lined up to take them if something happens to you both?
We don't have anyone.
Oh, might want to put that in place.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm volunteering.
Oh, are you volunteering?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
I mean,
I thought you didn't want kids.
I would take care of your kids. Of course I would.
Oh my God.
Of course I would.
That's going to make me cry.
I know. Well, I mean, you've probably got closer family than me. Like, Gwen has sisters and stuff. But, like, they're not making me cry. They're not going to raise them the way you want them raised.
And you are?
Of course.
Love that.
Just throwing it out there.
Okay. Wow.
No, it'd be a good, cute movie. Let's talk about her. Do we need to talk about her father dying of cancer?
I think so.
Okay.
Right?
I mean, we talked a lot about her father. I don't know that we need to harp on the metastasized pancreatic cancer bit. That's what my dad had.
I know. Do you want to talk about that?
No, I'm over crying about that. But something she points out that has been said to us also is that it is a diagnosis that goes very, very quickly. Yeah. And, I landed on June 9th and he was dead by June 29th.
I'm so glad you went.
Me too. I owe that to you.
No, you would have done it.
I didn't know. That was still at a point too where they're like, we saw all this shit on a scan, but we really want to do a biopsy to be sure, and everyone was in denial basically. Yeah. And no one was talking to us straight. But I feel like if I hadn't been here when I got that news, I don't know that I would have gone so quickly, T. Like, it was just like the way you and Gwen were both in my face, like, you gotta go right now. I was like, oh, like, I feel like it did make a difference. So
good.
I'll always be thankful for that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was almost like I was meant to be here when I got that news.
I think so.
Yeah.
That was a big deal.
Yeah. 2 days away from him dying, we still had clued in. Yeah. He was just laying there,
hanging out.
Nothing. Is it gonna get better?
Yeah. Well, I always have hope. But I'm glad
it's just like it's unpracticed when you're there. It's just you're just not practiced. You don't know what the fuck.
This doesn't happen every day.
No one's telling you what's up. They're trying to cover their asses at the hospital, and they're talking in code to you. And finally, you got to read between the lines and go, "Oh, you're telling me to take him to hospice," and then we did, and he died 12 hours later. Anyway, I don't want to talk about my dead dad anymore. But I will say this. And I'm not knocking anyone that's gone through cancer and like survived it and like goes on like 5K runs and stuff to stop it, or like wears the ribbons at football games. But my dad would not have done well in cancer culture. So, and he and I talked about this when we first went to the oncologist. My mom was doing something and we were sitting there waiting, and he's like, I don't want to be in cancer culture. And I was like, I don't really want to be a part of cancer culture either. And we kind of had a laugh about it. And then he died like 2.5 weeks later. So
good for him.
There is some beauty. There is a gift when the sick don't linger. I think it's hugely difficult to have to take care of someone like that. And some people can linger for months or years or fight it for years and like are constantly in and out of the hospital. I mean, and people don't talk enough about how difficult it is to be a caregiver, especially when you're not a hired one, you're just a familial one and it just falls to you. Like, it is extremely difficult. And her saying, he went quickly, like, it is a gift. She's right. It absolutely is a gift.
Yeah. But strong connection there. And, there was a big part, I think, with her really feeling like she owes her dad after he was so proud of her, like, working at the hospital.
Yeah.
That was a big... That really resonated with me, like, knowing how much she was, like, proud of her and her potential future. It made me think about my dad a lot.
Yeah.
And, like, how he was very proud of me as well, even knowing at that point when he passed, I was at the Cheesecake Factory,
But you were really good at that.
I was really good, right? I thought. And
well, if he could see you now. Yeah. He does see you now. He is proud of you.
Yeah. And I think I had just gotten hired in the career that I am now.
Yeah.
When, he passed just shortly after.
So we did get to know about it.
He knew, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was nice.
Let's talk about the thing we haven't talked about yet. Okay. And I feel like this is going to be the last thing.
We have to talk about that. We have to.
We have to talk about it.
Why are we avoiding... Like, this is the biggest thing.
Yeah. She was raped at 16. Hard R, sorry.
Yeah. She couldn't say the word for a long time.
Right. Happened in her own bed, so she wouldn't have to explain bruises from a cold tile floor.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like he expected it from her because of her reputation. And then it feels like when she did say to her ex-boyfriend what had happened, that he almost...
What am I supposed to do? It's like...
Yeah. And a point that stuck out to me a lot was when she had to drive him home after.
Yeah.
And she kicks him out of the car, and he's puzzled.
He doesn't get it.
He's hurt.
Yeah, like all of a sudden she has to make him feel better.
Yeah.
Because he feels heartbroken or something. It's such a mind fuck.
What do you, like, let's suppose what do you think he was thinking? Can we try to get into his mind for a second? 16-year-old kid.
But I can't.
Yeah.
It's so hard to like when someone's telling you no.
Yeah.
And try and maybe it's a little bit at times there's no, and then there's like, let's not do this right now. There's some of those like pushing away moments where it's like, take the subtleties even and realize you should not be doing this. Yeah.
Like, why do you think that he was hurt when she booted him out of the car? What do you think
he's insane.
What do you think he thought he did? Did he do you think that he thought he had a romantic encounter with her?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he was convinced that was it, despite all of the obvious signs that he shouldn't have been doing it.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm thinking, I mean, he did it again.
Do you think this was a defining moment in his life? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean...
And I'm not trying to blame her, but like, if this started a trajectory for him of like, I can get away with doing that, I can get my dick wet by using power and coercion. I see women as a means to an end. And because I've gotten away with it, I can continue to act like this. Like, was this like a fork in the road moment for him? And is she to blame for not? Of course she's not. I'm speaking. Right. Don't look at me like that.
I know.
If she had reported it, if even there had been an investigation where it was kind of reinforced to him that what he did was not okay, whether he was actually punished for it or not, but could that have changed the whole trajectory of his life?
Probably.
That's
I mean, that's
scary.
That's scary.
And so
because
sad.
like she said too, like he's probably done it before and it's been unreported, you know?
Yeah. How much of that, again, this is the secrecy element, right?
It comes back.
She wanted to tell, but immediately
the ex-boyfriend did that.
She's smacked down when she even enters that sphere.
And she's been taught to kind of
bury it. And to tell yourself, to console yourself with, maybe that's not what happened, right? And then that's how the story becomes in your mind.
Maybe it's my fault or something.
Yeah.
Because of the reputation and...
Yeah. So I'm just going to be in survival mode.
She's 16.
And get away from it. I know.
She's 16.
I know.
That kind of responsibility.
I'm not blaming her at all.
Especially when she already said it to someone else and got shot down.
I know.
There's no way.
Oh, it's like one of those things, though, you look back and you could see how it would start this downward spiral for both of them.
Yeah.
Let's talk about when she's in the hospital. Now, mind you, and I don't know, just so this is clear, I don't know if it was clear in the episode, she never sees him.
Yeah.
She never treats him.
Just sees his
name. She just sees his name flash across this board.
That's what does it.
And it completely derails her. And she's going through so many feelings, right?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, she's reassured. Well, when she reads his rap sheet, she's reassured that this thing that did happen to her actually did happen to her. And it wasn't something she made up in her head. So there's a relief that comes. But she feels the shame and regret of letting it happen to someone else. And maybe more than one person. And then she's also sad for him and what his life has turned out to be. He's transient. Mm-hmm. He's addicted. He's unhoused. And she's wondering, did she contribute to that? Right?
Yeah.
But then she's also angry that he basically made this hospital, this dream of hers, this dream of her father's, where she would have her career. She's made that hospital now untenable grounds. She cannot exist there anymore because she could see his name or his face or have to do his blood or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like so many things.
Yeah.
It's so incredibly heavy. And then heavy. All of that comes back. All of that's out in the forefront.
When she's been trying to bury it for years and years and years. So she hangs out a little bit, but then she quits.
I mean, I can't even imagine.
No.
When I remember
At any moment, he could come back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I did the pre-interview with her, a part of it that we talked about for a long time was me trying to wrap my mind around the conflict of interest at hand. Because let's say she did actually get to a point where she had to provide treatment or whatever she does. And let's say something happened to him and now there's a lawsuit. Is that something that could be thrown into the mix of, and whether she did no harm or intentionally or not, but if it came back on her and then this was revealed, is that something that could be held against her? And she talks about it herself, like people do work in hospitals that have been victims of sexual assaults and they probably are having to treat their assailants.
Their actual?
I'm sure this happens.
But what about that conflict of interest? Like, can they not then?
When we talked about it, she talked about if it got to the point where she actually would be doing some sort of thing that could affect his body, she probably would have had to divulge to like a supervisor that she couldn't be a part of the thing. Yeah. You know?
Okay.
But that would have had to take a big moment of courage for her to divulge something like that but really just a coworker.
Accepting it.
But I wonder what they talk about in training. And I don't remember if we talked about this or not, but like in training, there has to be some protocols, right?
There must be.
There must be.
Well, the whole conflict of interest, you know, that riddle, like I can't treat this person because he's my son.
Oh,
That's the conflict
Yeah.
of interest thing.
the doctor was his mother.
All
What?
right, sexist.
That's funny because that's also from The Office. You brought it
Oh.
around again. Well, it's in The
Well,
Office. It's not from The Office.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Again, not doctors, but maybe the doctors that are listening. You wouldn't have to treat them, right? If you were able to divulge.
But if you're an emergency doctor, emergency room doctor,
You have
where
to.
you're constantly doing just triage, especially maybe if it's we're in a ward situation, or there's like a tropical storm and there's this big influx of people, and you're just like seeing, oh, there's my rapist, he's here. Like, what your first ethical thing is, do no harm.
There's an oath.
And that's there for a reason, and it's meant to be like very absolute and principled.
Yeah.
But I know hospitals are also really worried about liability issues. So you might need to remove yourself in case something does go bad, or maybe your mind is elsewhere because you're like feeling feelings, and you can't do your best work. I'm sure you'd have to.
It's like when you're like treating like serial killers or something.
Yeah.
And you have to try to save them, and you're like, should I? Or
all I gotta do is push this button. Just take this vial.
Literally murders.
Yeah, I could never work in healthcare.
I could never do that. I'm so glad.
Thanks to everyone that does that.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. This has been an episode of Trauma Bonded. You can find our show where podcasts are kept. If you like us, please rate and review us on Apple or other places, or reach out on Instagram. And thanks to Anonymous Doctor for sharing their story and giving us the opportunity to talk about it. And thanks to This Is Actually Happening team, including Whit, Missildine, and Andrew Waits, and the maker of our music and website, Nathaniel Tremboli. And thanks to Forrest Chiras for editing this episode, and to Katie Capel for building those blasted Instagram posts. You can contact us at traumabondedpod@gmail.com and find us on Instagram at traumabondedpodofficial, or visit our website at traumabondedpod.com. We are trauma bonded to the story, to the storyteller, to the listeners, and to each other. Thanks for spending time with us today. Love you, T.
Love you, Elly. Good job. Hey, thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Okay. Have a good day.